Hi everyone, welcome to this channel, and in this video I'm gonna talk how much I hate knitting trends. How much I hate that everyone in the knitting community jumps on knitting a particular item and then you see it everywhere. And there is the whole industrial complex of producing patterns, producing videos, producing short videos. This hobby should be creative, just enjoying the process, doing something unique, something handmade. Actually becomes just reproducing things that you can see online everywhere in the fast fashion. And yes, it may be a little bit controversial that me talking to you about this is actually me wearing the sailor hat that so many people are crocheting or knitting right now, or sewing, and me wearing something that looks like a Sophie scarf. This is not a Sophie scarf, but the same small, short, tiny scarf. I don't know, whatever it is. Anyway, this is going to be a chatty video. Let's unpack this topic because I'm sure everyone has a strong opinion about this. Let's discuss it. Okay, the hot take number one is that this knitting trends and everyone jumping on knitting the same item, it just ruins the idea for everyone else. So there is a cool pattern or cool idea or something creative that the first time emerges. Somebody, I don't know, did it for the first time, and it's awesome, it's cool, it's inspiring. You see it and you get I don't know, you get so energized and motivated to also create something new, inspiring, and I don't know, handmade cool stuff. But the more people jump on it, the more the item loses its appeal, at least for me. The more people copy it, the more ridiculous it gets. Different people creating different things that will inspire the community ends up with just everyone doing the same, to the point when it becomes blunt. It becomes bleh. So many times I would notice something like a pattern or something, and I would think oh, that's kind of cool, maybe I should knit something like this. But I'm usually not always the fastest person to jump in, but by the time I jump in, I'm okay, I see it everywhere. Seriously, there are thousands of patterns that emerge. There are tutorials, there are TikToks, there are reels, there is it just jumps at you from everywhere, and you go on Etsy, people sell it. Why did you have to ruin it for me? And you might say oh, what's wrong with you? If you like it, why don't you do it? Every time we think yeah, but it's just a cool item, I just want to make it, it's just a sailor hat, why not? It suits me, it suits my lifestyle, it's a cool stuff. And you know what's cool about sailor hat? If eventually I will be tired of sailor hats, it will be just a nice hat for, I don't know, for the beach or whatever. Whatever it can be. So I'm it's practical, why not to make it? But my next hot take is that reproducing those trends, it just kills the creativity, it kills personal style, it kills individuality, it kills uniqueness. We're just robots that having the same stuff. Again, you would say who you are to tell people what to wear, why you're so bothered, why you're trying to police whether people should look same or different, what is this oh, why everyone has to be unique. But for me, I don't know, it's there's something about any arts and crafts and any things that you create with your hands, handmade stuff. There's something special about it to be unique and not replicated. And also in general, the way how people dress. I think when people wear handmade garments, it can be knitting or sewing, crocheting, it can be other things. You do this because it helps you to create garments that fit your style, fit your body, fit your whatever. It's funny, I was actually planning to knit and talk, but I don't know if I can do it. If you watched my previous videos, my chit chat video, you know that I'm usually so bad at knitting and talking. I don't know, especially here I have to count the stitches. Anyway, when you start doing this type of hobbies sewing and knitting, you create your personal style. And there are good things about personal style. For example, instead of buying things in fast fashion, you create your own garment. When you learn how long it takes to create a garment, you are more willing to create a long-term items, not long-term, long-lasting items, more timeless items, because you understand if I spend months on knitting a sweater, of course I'm not gonna just wear it for a couple of months or a couple of times and discard it. I'm gonna probably wear it for a long time. So it makes you to be more conscious about what you create. Also, if it's something that fits your personal style, it's something that you can't buy in a store, Okay, I feel like the more we think about creating garments that fit our personal style, the less we are obsessed with how we look, with fashion, unhealthy way, with like beauty looks, the way how like perfect and perfect bodies, perfect and perfect outfits and stuff like this. When you have your personal style, you don't need to worry that somebody says like, oh, this is not trendy anymore. You don't need to worry about like going and buying something that's like everyone has. And when knitting community that, in my opinion, is supposed to create items that are unique, handmade, blah, 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 instead jumps on a fast fashion trends and replicates them, they become like a short-lived items. That really pisses me off. Here's my next take, probably comes from it. Not only I think it's not good that we're not doing our personal style, but we're jumping on trends. The next take is that we feed to consumerism. All these trendy items that exist, they bring, as I said, this like industrial complex of as soon as something is getting popular, there are people who are very smart, they start like, publishing patterns, creating tutorials, selling something on Etsy for people who have no time to knit and make. Again, you would say like, why are you bothered? It's like small business, people just make money. But again, it's just this marketing consumerism machine that annoys the crap out of me. Something comes out in a fast fashion, somebody comes out in as a pattern, and everyone is doing it without even thinking, trying to like figure out, okay, is it part of my personal style? Would I actually need it if it wasn't trendy? If I came across this item, would I be like making it? Is it something that I'm gonna wear long term, like as a timeless item? Or is it something I'm gonna, like a lobster, something that I'm gonna need and next year I'm not even gonna wear it? Let's not even talk about the environment and all this other stuff. Just, participating in this consumerism and marketing and other things. And this is really annoying. The next reason I hate knitting trends, that I don't know, they give me so much anxiety, because now when I find a pattern that's like cute, and so what happens to me, like I'm not super like following like channels, TikToks, Instagrams. I usually like fall out from knitting YouTube or whatever, knitting social media for a long time, and then maybe like half a year later, I'm like, oh, let's see like what's in there, because I already watched all my saved videos on my other topics. I like, okay, I have nothing to watch on YouTube. Let me watch some knitting YouTube. And I open a video, I find something cute, like a pattern or I don't know, another like idea. And at that point, I don't even know yet that it's like a trendy something. I find it and I'm like, oh, that's cute, let me make it. For example, that's how I discovered the scarves or hats. I was like, oh, that's kind of practical, I can use it. For example, like as a scarf, I remember actually somebody said like, oh, this is the most useless item on earth. Maybe not, but for me, for example, I often feel like when it's windy or like cold, I almost feel like my neck is not protected. So what I like to do, if it's a cold day, I wear this scarf like this, so it protects my neckline. I don't know, and I feel so much comfortable. So it can be like a windy day. I mean, not in summer, obviously, but in spring or autumn, it can be a windy day, and I actually like to have a scarf. And actually, I was wearing scarves since I remember myself. So when I was a teenager in school, I would always wear some shawls and scarves, but then I stopped doing it when I moved to like warmer climate. But then I realized like, okay, if I need something out of cotton, like this one, I can still wear it and it's going to be practical. So this is just explanation that you didn't need, but now you're having it. So let's go back. As I said, I have a break from knitting internet, I go back on knitting internet, I find something, I see it for the first time, and I like it, I truly like it, and not because everyone else is knitting, but maybe it's actually first time I see it, I'm like, oh, that's a cool item, oh, it's very practical, like the sailor hat. I was like, yeah, I kind of like to have something when my hair is, when I have a bad hair day, or when I'm too lazy to wash my hair, I can actually put the hat on and it will be like a little bit more organized. Or sometimes it's a hot day, I need something on my head, so I don't, because I spend a lot of time outside when I walk dogs, because I work with dogs and I often do training walks, so I'm outside training the dog for hours. I mean, not the same dog, but different dogs, but I stay outside also, I need something to cover my head. So I'm like, oh, that's practical. And I start thinking about knitting it. And then since I'm back on the knitting YouTube, I'm noticing, oh no, and this person is doing it, and this person is oh my God. And then I realize later on, it's like a trend. And as I said, this gives me so much anxiety, because I'm like, I kind of still want to knit this item, because when I saw it for the first time, I fell in love with it for the first time. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be doing what everyone else is doing. I don't want to be contributing to the stupid trends. I don't want to like contribute to this whole consumerism. And then I spend like weeks or months thinking, am I truly gonna wear it, or is it just a stupid trend? Because I have items, for example, I don't know if I mentioned, because this is my second or third attempt to film this video, because every time I would just ramble without any cohesion, so I'm actually refilming it. So I don't know in which of the takes I have said that, but I think it's in this take. Anyway, I'll cut it out. Anyway, so for many years I resisted. So if I saw that something is trendy, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to be like everyone else. I hate doing same things. I want to have kind of focus myself on creating my personal style versus like following what's trendy. But then I'm thinking like, but I truly like this item. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm debating whether I should make it or not. And usually I resist the trends, but sometimes I succumb to the trend. For example, back in the day, I don't know if maybe it's still popular, but like when I just started knitting, there was one pattern that was extremely popular on YouTube back then, or at least on those channels that I watched. It's ranunculus, and I made it. I bought yarn, I made it. I remember I even redid it one time because I didn't quite like how it was turning out, and I'm not wearing it. And it pisses me off. So I spent time making it, but I'm just not wearing it. Maybe the yarn choice was not good. Maybe the color choice was, I don't know what was. Maybe I just have to redo it in a different yarn. I don't know. And I'm like, this is just the proof. You did something that was trendy. And I don't know, maybe it's just my problem. But as I said, it gives me so much anxiety trying to understand. I want to knit it because this is something that I truly like, or because it was fed to me so many times through different social media that I started liking it. I heard somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard somewhere that even if you don't like a particular popular song first, but the more they feed it to you, the more it kind of grows on you, you know? So I'm thinking like, was I just fed this item? Was I fed the sailor hat so many times that it grew on me? And then my inner monologue is like, maybe it's not a bad thing, that maybe you should just, let it go and just wear things that everyone else is wearing. Why you're so stuck on it? Anyway, so it gives me so much anxiety, and that's why I hate it. So the next take is, because something becomes popular, every blogger, every creator feels like now they should make a content about it. I don't know, it's hard to, I guess, find this distinction. And yeah, how do you find distinction whether somebody is doing it because they the same like me, they found it, they came across on it, they're like, oh, that's a cool thing, let me do it. And since you're a blogger, you're like, oh, I might as well, create a content about it, or I might as well create a pattern or tutorial, whatever. Yeah, it makes sense. But at the same time, I feel like there is this certain amount of creators who, I don't know, maybe because they want to be popular, or maybe they are more interested in views and numbers and stats versus, like the knitting as a creative outlet. So they're like, oh, this is trendy, I need to talk about it because that's how I'm gonna get views. And I mean, I understand, like, I'm a small channel creator. I have like a very minuscule amount of people watching me. In my past, I used to be a creative who had experience with like thousands of people watching me. Like at some point in my other channel, I had 125,000 subscribers. I still can't believe that, but there was something in the past. And I understand the appeal of, not the appeal, I understand that as a creative, especially if it's your full-time job, and back then I was a full-time creative, not anymore, but back then, you have to worry about numbers, you have to worry about statistics, and sometimes you have to talk about popular topics because how otherwise people discover your channel. So even me now as a small channel, I'm thinking sometimes like, yeah, sometimes I have to probably come up with something that's popular in the moment, because this will give the opportunity to people to actually even learn about my channel, because maybe more people are interested in what I'm rambling here, but they just don't know my channel exists. So in order for me to put myself out there, I have to talk about something popular. Makes sense. But at the same time, I don't know, there is something about this that pisses me off, so it's like a vicious circle. People notice that something is trendy, and some people would think like, I have to talk about it because everyone talks about it, that's what's gonna like push my channel, give me views, give me blah blah blah. They do this content, so the more content about this creates, and then the more people notice it, and the trend becomes even trendier, and then they ruin this item for everyone else. So like, I guess I'm an idealist. I kind of dream about the ideal world where people actually create content about things that truly interest them in the first place, not like as a second-hand interest when it's like, you have some intrinsic, no, not intrinsic, some like, you have some weird motivation to talk about it, and that pisses me off. I don't know, is it this take or the next take, but I truly hate that bloggers who create knitting content feel obligated to cover something that is trendy. Because at some point, I have like a certain amount of channels that I watch on a regular basis, but if I see these channels or these videos covering something that's like super trendy, I just skip those videos because I don't need like a 20th person talking how many little scarves they knitted. Or if like something else becomes trendy, I don't need like a 20th person. At the same time, let's say if I'm decided to knit a sailor hat and I'm looking for a content, how else am I gonna find people who talk about it if I need information? I understand like the stupidity of my thought, but at the same time, it's annoying that you go online, you want to watch something creative, you want to be inspired by other works, you want to be inspired by other, creators, but in reality, you just watch the same bullshit over and over and over again. And I understand it's like an ethical dilemma, I guess, for many knitters, but I would much prefer to watch people who don't repeat trends. I don't know. And again, it's funny that me sitting in a sailor hat and little scarf and tell you all that, Is it hypocritical? It probably is a little bit. Anyway, I guess I would say like, if you're a creator who doesn't care about, let's say, little scarf or sailor hat, but you think, oh, I have to knit it because everyone does, that's what's gonna give me more views. So you hate the item, but you do it just to get the views. I freaking hate you because you ruin it for everyone and you just participate in this, the whole consumerism. If you're somebody who truly likes this item and, you just want to, do it because, you like it, and obviously it's normal for you to talk about something. So I don't mind you talking about it if something that you truly liked, but I really hate you if you do it just for, riding the trend. So I don't know, do you see this distinction? And my last take probably, like, no matter what you do, are you a creator or a knitter, every time you jump on a trend, even if you like me, like, oh, but I do truly like this sailor hat, or it truly looks good on me. And, the good part is that I had leftover yarn that I didn't know what to use. So technically, I didn't buy yarn for it. It was basically a leftover yarn project, which is perfect. That's probably the only reason I actually did this hat. I would never buy yarn for it. I would never make it otherwise. But still, no matter who you are, you may be a creator, you may be just a regular knitter, and you may be even saying like, oh, I'm not jumping on many trends, but this particular trend, I just like it. Every time you do it, you ruin your own creativity. I truly believe in it. You ruin it because instead of looking for something unique, something creative, trying to, come up with something new, maybe finding some designers who are less popular, finding some patterns that are less popular, creating things that other people don't create. Like every time you're not doing this, you just, participating in this, the whole consumerism and feeding the algorithm and stuff like this. Even if it's like very like, what's the word, inoculate? There is no bad intention behind it. And when I'm saying this, I'm not just saying this to you, I'm saying it to myself. Every time you, Stella, which is me, I talk to myself, every time I jump on this trend, I take away the opportunity, because we have a limited time in a day. I take away the opportunity to need something unique, to need something that fits my personal style, and I just fit to the anxiety of wearing what everyone else is wearing, or when this item becomes not trendy anymore, thinking, oh, should I still wear it or I should not wear it? Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, guys. Maybe I just should, maybe I'm taking it too deep, you know? Maybe it's not that deep. It's just a hobby. We should do whatever we're doing. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So let me know, do you do trends? What do you think about trends? Do you think it's harmful for our industry, the whole consumerism and following the trends? Because it's not only knitting, you know, like we buying Labubus, we jumping on other trends. And if you jump on this trend, you're also going to be more to jump on other trends, because it just becomes like your way of life. Oh, let me do what everyone else is doing. Or should we be more like, I'm not like everyone else, I should be more unique? I don't know. My choice right now is to be unique, but you see, as unique as it gets. Anyway, see you in my next video, and if you like my babbling and blubbering, subscribe to this channel. I think my next video will be either my knitting podcast. I was actually planning to make a knitting podcast this week or last week, but I was like super busy, and this week I'm actually traveling. I'm actually watching this beautiful baby girl, so I'm not at home, so I don't have access to my project, so I can't do. I also started recording a sewing vlog. I know some of you commented that you may be interested in watching my sewing videos as well. I was planning actually to publish it last week, but the sad part is like I'm super slow at sewing and I haven't finished the item. And since I'm away this weekend, I can't finish it as well. Maybe I will do it next weekend. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to tell me whether you like the trends or not. Am I the crazy one or not?